we've unboxed everything and laid it all out and looked over the instructions, which are kind of confusing. But this is the top part of the desk, and this side will be facing up. The way I know is there are no little holes or rivets in here. The rivets and holes for holding the screw, that may not be the technical term, I may be wrong, but these little spots here for holding the screws are on the bottom, so when it's put together, this will be facing down. Now, this piece will be the brace for the legs. Now, when you lay this on, for me it's easiest to leave this side to the right and this to the left. I want to double check that when I put this together, this will be the bottom shelf. So looking at this upside down, it's going to go like so, and the wheels will be here. You'll want the mesh to be facing down. So make sure that everything lines up with the amount of holes that you have here. Now, it's kind of confusing right now, but as we put it together, you'll understand. Now, to know which holes from here line up with this, you can look here, and you can see that it's these two, of course, and then these two line up with this. So we know this hole is going to hold this. So, to put the legs on, it's going to go in this hole, and this hole, and this hole. Now, if you attach this to the top piece now, there's no way to get in between here to put the screws in to attach the legs. So, you have to put the legs on first. And the screws you're going to use for attaching this piece to this top piece are the 4 smaller screws labeled as I. So to do the legs, we need the longer screws that are labeled as E. Alright, and which there are 8 of. We're only going to use 4 here, we're going to use 4 at the bottom. So, now we want to get one of the large ones, and this is the hole that's going to attach to here. So we want to put this screw through here. And then we're going to do the same. Let's start with what's farthest away. So we'll put this here, because we know this one goes to here. And then we'll put this in here. And now what we want to do is we want to put the leg in there, and we want to twist it a little bit. Let's see if this works. Not really. So you want to put your hand under there and hold the screw so it doesn't turn. And then you're going to twist this to tighten the leg. Alright. Now it's just tighten it a little bit. It doesn't seem to matter which side of the leg goes where. So these seem to be the same either way. Alright. So reach under here. Do the same thing. I'm holding the screw from the bottom with this hand so it doesn't turn. And then I'm turning the leg. And it eventually starts to tighten up. So we got that basically pretty good. Now, our last. Remember not to use this one, you want to use the one on the inside. It's easier to double check before you start than to have to take it back apart. And I'm holding underneath. What we want to do is we're going to lay this on its side. And then we're going to take our hex key that came with the stuff, and you want to look and make sure that this is lined up even. You don't want it like, make sure it's not turned like that. You want it to be nice and straight and flush against the rest. And then you're gonna kind of, best thing to do is hold it here and here, and then start turning your hex key. And you want to keep turning until it's nice and tight. Now that we've got this part attached, now we can screw this part to this wooden piece, which is gonna, when we flip it over, it's gonna be our top. So go ahead and grab the shorter screws, which are labeled I. You may have to move this around so you get it in and get it just a little bit started. You don't want to go too far. And now you want to get to the other piece. Move it around so you start, so you got it in there good. Here. The bottom on. This is the bottom shelf, and we want this to be flush with the top of it. Now remember, we're putting this on upside down, so you want to turn this over, and if you look, there are 4 holes here on the outside that the casters are going to go into. That's where these are going to screw into. In the meantime, these holes are going to go into the legs. So you want to start by placing this up top and get the other 4 of the long screws. And I'm going to start actually back here at the back one because it keeps wanting to push down. We're going to kind of play around with it till you get it into the screw hole. And it may take some finessing and moving around and, okay. Instead, I think I'm going to start with this one. Okay, I can feel it, it's holding on, so I'm not going to go too far. I'm going to get the, and I'm holding it here because it wants to push down. So you're going to have to kind of move this around till it catches in. It's a little, I can see that it's kind of going crooked, so. And this is, you know, a little tricky. I can see that it's, there we go. Now I got it. You're just going to have to kind of finesse it and move it around. Now, before you tighten these, you want to come around to this side and do this side. And you can see these are kind of pushed out, and I don't really know why. So, you kind of have to move them around. I got that in there. And now the last one, all these little white fuzzies. Okay. You might have to move this bar back and forth till you start it up, and then I can feel it going in. Now, kind of looks crooked. Don't know why. Okay, so that means it hasn't caught. So I'm going to try this again. Also, looking at how straight the screw is can help you determine if you've gotten it correctly. And this seems to want to go sideways, and I don't know why. It's just... So I'm just going to keep... I'm going to take something and by taking something different, I know that this is open and I kind of can gauge. I don't want to drop this in, so I'm holding on to it, but I want to kind of gauge by moving this back and forth. I can see when I've pretty much got it lined up. So now that I've kind of got it lined up straight, and use that, try to, and that worked. That got me going, got me started, which I'm very happy about, because I didn't want to have to take this whole thing back apart. It is a bear taking these back out once you start them. So now it's just a question of going around and tightening. And as you tighten, make sure that these are flush. You may have to loosen and then retighten it once you get the legs flush, because it's going to bug the crap out of you if you put it together and it's crooked. I know for me it would. So, alright, we're going to tighten. Now it's ready for the casters, which are the wheels. So now we're going to just, we can put that in, and, alright. So what you want to do is you want to, okay, this turns independent of this part. So when you go to put this in, you're going to have to kind of like hold this part here, because if you just do this, you're not getting anywhere. So you want to hold this bottom part, and you want to kind of turn it. You can see it's going down. Now, that's where this little baby comes in. So, get it? Alright, nice and tight. Now I'm going to do this one. Now, the table is put together. Now all you have to do is turn it right side up. And there you are. Voila. Now you have a rollable table, and now you have this space so it can go under a bed or a couch or something like that.